If it rains on Sukkot, when is a person allowed to leave a Sukkot? So the Mishnah says you're allowed to leave when the porridge, you're eating some soup or some porridge, and the rain comes in and it destroys it, and you can't eat it. Okay, it wrecks the food. Remember an Eved that comes to pour out a cup to his master, and the master pours a kitan alpanov. It's a simin klola. If it rains in Sukkot, it's a simin klola. This is the Mishnah. Ask the Ran, the gewaltige Kasche. Ask the Ran, you right here, Masech the Sukkot. The Ran has a Kasche, a gute Kasche. He says, ich verstehe nicht. The Mishnah has to tell me a shear of Tisrach HaMikveh, when it starts to spoil. What do I need a shear of Tisrach HaMikveh? The Gemara says before, and Dav Chovo, the Gemara says, there's halachas. The Gemara says, the halacha, Teishvu kein taduru. You sit in a sukkah, the way you would sit in your house. Mitzdayer, a fellow's mitzdayer is potem in a sukkah. He's potem sitting in a sukkah, mitzdayer, because it's not kein taduru. And the Gemara says, a case it's called baki, mosquitoes, they were bugs. The fellow was allowed to leave a sukkah. Where it says, sircha de gargishte, if there was a bad smell in a sukkah, the fellow was allowed to move away. He's butter, mitzdayer, right? It bothers him. Tesis is butter. Why is he butter? Mitzdayer is butter. Why? Teishvu ke'ein toduru, right? Now, ask the Ran on this Mishnah. So what are you telling me a shear? In this Mishnah, when it rains, you should tisrach hamikveh. What do you have to tell me an amount when it rains so much that it comes into the sukkah and it destroys the food? Listen, it bothers me a little rain. If it bothers me with a little rain, I go out with a little rain. I'm a mitzdayer. Doesn't bother me, maybe even more than Tisrach HaMikveh. What do I have to give a shear of Tisrach HaMikveh? The kasha is a good kasha, right? You don't mind if it's a little bit chazorah for you. The kasha is a good kasha. What does it have to say? Mishat Tisrach HaMikveh. No more of Sheikh. If you're a mitzdayer with less rain, you go out with less rain, right? What do you have to say? A shear of Tisrach HaMikveh is a good kasha. Good. And he brings the Gemara before from Chavov. Says the Nana, say, you're right. The fellow, before he went into a sukkah and he sees it's raining, that depends on the person. It depends on each person, the way he is. By him, if it's a little bit, it's tired, he's butter right away. Once you're in a sukkah, this is the chiddush. Once a fellow already went into a sukkah and he's sitting in the sukkah, then, you remember the Gemara in Avodah Zorah, it's like it's a bezoyan, it's like you're boyet, it's like a fellow who's rebelling, it's like against the sukkah. If he leaves before Tisrach HaMikveh, if he leaves earlier, before it starts the porridge, it's a bezoyan for the sukkah. Therefore we say, that's why the Mishnah says, the chiddush, once you're in the sukkah, don't leave the sukkah until Tisrach HaMikveh. But what it would seem in a chanami, before I went in, and there's a little rain, it bothers me, okay, I go, I'm not mechuyev to go in, it bothers you, okay, each person differently. Okay, this is what the Ran says at Teretz, Achidish Godel, from the Ran on this Mishnah. Maybe we can try to say another Teretz on the Ran, Loch HaTeretz on the Ran's Kasha, and we'll see why the Ran didn't say it. Now we know that in the famous, in the Achroinim, there's a famous shayla we'll see in the Rishonim, how to learn up the P'tur of Yorduk Shomim by Sukkah. If it rains on Sukkahs, why are you butter from sitting in the Sukkah? Is it a simple P'tur called Mitzdayer? I'm a Mitzdayer from the bugs, I'm a Mitzdayer from beds. I'm a Mitzdayer because it rains. It's a P'tur Mitzdayer, Teishvu Ke'ein Taduru. Maybe not. Maybe Yorduk Shomim is a new P'tur. Maybe there's a new P'tur called Yorduk Shomim is butter from Sukkah. Now where do we see this shayla? The Gemara speaks about mitzdayer and Dav Chavov. Remember with the bugs and with the bad smell? And you have to wait for Chav Chesam and Beis for a new Mishnah about Yorduk Shomim. In the Mishnah, Yorduk Shomim is butter from Sukkah. What's the matter? It can't be on Chavov. You have to wait for Chav Tes. You look in Rambam. That brings the halach of mitzdayer, butter min Sukkah. A few halachas later, the halacha of Yorduk Shomim hariz and nichnas l'tei Rabbayis. Rambam couldn't put it together, so some of us want to say, "Vais techois from maybe Yorduk Shomim is not up to from Mitzdayer, it's more than Mitzdayer. Mitzdayer, the Pshat is, it's a Shem Sukkah, the Sukkah bleibt a Sukkah, it's a Sukkah. Now you're a potter in the Kiyum HaMitzvah, it's not Kein Taduru, it's a Ptur in the Maisa HaYeshiva. Das ist nicht Kein Taduru, not Kein Taduru. Kennst du dich sitzen? Okay. Aber der Sukkah, was hat das im Sukkah? Sukkah geblieben 100%, das Heftzat im Sukkah. 100%. It's a Ptur in Kiyum HaMitzvah. It's not the condition of Kein Taduru, Zish Kein Taduru, you potter. Aber Yorduk Shomim, there's a svara to say that what Ein Shem Sukkah all over. Today is the Yortzeit from the Heilige Vilner going, and he says it. He says a nusach, Kishoyrig Shomim, when it rains, Ein Shem Sukkah olav. It's Poka de Shem Sukkah. It's a Shem Sukkah, but I'm potter because I'm a Mitzdayer. It's Nishkin Shem Sukkah. So it's put in two separate places. Chavov, Chavtes. Rambam, Mitzdayer is in one place. Yorduk Shomim is a little further. It's a Tzvei Taloch, it's Tzvei Dinim. One din of Mitzdayer, one din of Yorduk Shomim. The Ragged Shover going, Sefer, Tzotnas Paneach, Al Harambam, he uses this svara to fend for it. He says, also, look at Rambam, two separate places. He says, the Weltskasha, the Oinig Yom Tiv, was one of the famous Achroinim, and he asked the Kasha, he says, if there are more Paskin, someone sits in a sukkah when it's raining, he's called a hedget. They call a potter midover ve'oiseu. Well, it's potter from the sukkah and he does it. He's called a hedget. He asked her, if you're worse than a hedget, you're much worse. You're a nene from Atzei Sukkah, shaloi b'moke mitzvah. You have no mitzvah to sit there. You're a mitzdayer. You go inside the sukkah. You could have been outside in the rain, pouring rain. Well, because you went into a sukkah. Okay, it's also raining, but it's not as bad as outside. You're a nene. You're gaining nene me'atzei sukkah, shaloi b'moke kiyam ha'mitzvah. Matonish. A sukkah is kodesh. Ose ba'anoye, unless l'tzorich mitzvah. V'frek di kashe, the sefer oine yom. Good. Says the Orsam. Says the Ragged Shover. Good. The Nishkin kashe. Yorduk Shomim is poka dem Shem Sukkah. And at the Pshat, it's a Shem Sukkah with a Ptur in your Maisa HaMitzvah. Oh no? It's poka de Shem Sukkah. Poka de Shem Sukkah. I'm nene from Atzei Sukkah. So Atzei Booth. Sukkah idosnish. When it's raining, it's not a Shem Sukkah. Poka de Shem Sukkah. What will be afterwards? Do you have problems? Good. But that is what the Ragged Shover will sagen. Right? It's zwei Basum Dinim. There's one din for this, one this. Wait. Where does the Welt say this? The Welt. The Heilige Reb Shloime von Vilna. Remember in the back of the Gemara, the Cheshik Shloime. So he has a sefer called Shalos Atshuvas, Cheshik Shloime. Bin Shloime. And over there he says, we know on the first night there's a famous Shaila, a big tumult in the Rishonim. What happens if it's Mitzdayer and Laila Harishon? If it rains the first night, what's Allah? If you have to go in, you're potter. Mitzdayer. Teishvu came to do, you're potter. Maybe not the first night, because you learn out Tezvov. On the first night you're mechuyev to eat in Sukkot. All the rest of the days is Manish mechuyev. First night I mentioned mechuyev to eat in the Sukkah. Mechuyev, Mitzachiyuvis, first night. And that maybe you learn out Tezvov. From Chag HaMatzis, that's how we know it. Over there's no Ptur of Kein Taduru. When it comes to Matzah, shouldn't talk in Ptur, no such halacha of Kein Taduru. So maybe the first night, Gate up the Ptur. Just like the Chiyuv comes from Matzah, and over there's no Kein Taduru. First night, no Ptur Kein Taduru. You mechuyev in all cases, it's Tayyur, the Kshurim mechuyev. Many Rishonim hold like that. Many. Other Rishonim say no. No, maybe not. Tezvov. You learn how to trim a chuyev to eat in Sukkah. I have my ptur, mitzdayer, geblim ptur. Okay. Others want to say, maybe mitzdayer, maybe Yorduk Shomim on the first night. First night is potter, favos, because Yorduk Shomim ein Shem Sukkah. Even if Tezvov will tell me a mitzdayer is chayev. Tezvov will say tonight there's no ptur mitzdayer. There's no Ptur in Teishvu Kein Taduru. Aber Ibitza machen, a Sach, was nicht kein Shem Sukkah. If it's Yorduk Shomim nicht kein Shem Sukkah, we can't Agseh Shove, we can't never machen. You can't give it a Shem Sukkah. Okay? Das kann nicht sein. If it's a Afghan, dann Shem Sukkah. That's what the film going to says. Yorduk Shamim, Ein Shem Sukkah, and therefore even on the first night, Yorduk Shamim is potter. But listen good, could well be Mitzdayer is Chayav on the first night, but Yorduk Shamim is potter because Ein Shem Sukkah. And with this, the Welt will fend am Moiradik, Mishtabure passing. What do we do? If it rains the first night, what's all been done? Machlokes, right? Should I go in? According to some, there's no P'tur Mitzdayer, no P'tur Yorduk Shamim. Okay, if there's no P'tur, you're Mechuyev, that's it. Wait a little bit. It's raining, according to many Rishonim, what are you supposed to do? With the Simchas Beis, you go in, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Go in, make the Kiddush, there's okay. Now, but according to many Rishonim, that hold Yorduk Shamim, Mitzdayer the first night, is still Potter. You weren't Mekayim a thing. You weren't Mekayim anything by going in at 8:30, 9:30. You weren't Mekayim a thing. So what are you supposed to do? So the Chayei Adam says, remember Mishabur brings it, Chayei Adam, Roy Lahachmer, try to stay up, Kol Alaylo. Because a fellow was Mechuyev. To sit in Sukkot, no one's blaming you. You know, it's raining. You're a mitzvah, I'm not blaming you. But you weren't Mekayim yet the mitzvah. The fellow didn't put on his tefillin. He wasn't Mekayim the mitzvah of Tumah. He wasn't Mekayim the mitzvah of Sukkot, which is a mitzvah deraisa. On the first night, Roy Lahachmir, Chayodom, try to stay up the whole night. Like those sheetis weren't Mekayim yet a thing. Says Mishabur. Okay, Roy Lahachmir, try to stay up. But it'll hit 2, 3, 4 in the morning. The man doesn't gain too much. He's a mitzdayer mamish. At 4, believe me, he is a mitzdayer. Now, if the man's a mitzdayer, what do you gain? If you hold mitzdayer is chayiv, you went in at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you'll mekayim the mitzvah. Ella, what mitzdayer is potter, and you have to wait and see, it'll stop. But you can be a mitzdayer, right? Even if it stops from Royal Lahachmir Kolalayla 4:30, the man is blunting. I should stay up. What did you gain? It says the Mishabura, Royal Lahachmir. Please try. But you don't gain anything. If your mom is a mitzvah, says the Mishabura, but I found in my Sarav from the Mahila Gigoyin that the woman says, Osir Lishon Kol Alay. It's Osir to sleep the whole night. Vetzorachim. Osir Lishon. What did you gain? Phil Nagoyin, you hold the mitzvah the first night, is still, you hold the mitzvah is potter. Listen, what you gain? Right? Like the Vilna going, no. My husband, right?
It's not from the Sukkah.
Well, what?
That's not called mitzvah.
Is that called mitzvah from the Sukkah? Well, it's causing you tsar.
It's only not only
Sukkah. Okay, well, only maybe like Baki. But Mishabura takes on that. That's called mitzvah also. He holds it. That's also called a mitzvah, and you should be put there. So why did the Kohen say, solution? He has no tenants. Zokmen aftem in the oil matoida. So what do they say? The Vilna going held on the first night. Mitzdayer is takechayev. Tezvov, meichagamatzes. There's no p'tur mitzdayer on the first night. You stay up the whole night. You're a mitzdayer, machmas the sukkah shleimams. You're a mitzdayer, you stay up the whole night. You're do shomim is potter. You're shomim lishkin shem sukkah. Okay, you're do shomim is potter. Good, wait and see. Maybe it'll stop. Don't tell me you're a mitzdayer at 4:30. There's no p'tur mitzdayer the first, and you're the shomim is potter because ain't shem sukkah. But if a mitzdayer is chayev, that is what the Vilna says. To answer this Vilna going, that Mishmur says sorachiyun in the Sharat Zion. Ois ayin is you look. Okay, you look. The Mishmur Sharat Zion ois ayin sorachiyun. It's a sorachiyun. No, but this is what the Vilna. This is what they say at Teretz of this. So this is what I want to say now. What was the kash? The Ran asked the kash. The Ran says, Ich verstehe nicht. The Ran says, Ich verstehe nicht. Why did the Mishnah have to say, Mishatisrach ha-mikveh? Right? What do you have to say? If it bothers me a little rain. What do you have to give me a shir? What did the Ran answer? A big chiddush. Once you're in, don't leave. It's not right. It doesn't look good. Like you're buoyant. I'm going to tell you why it says, Mishatisrach ha-mikveh. Because maybe we'll go with the shittas of the Goyim, that it's Pokadim Shem Sukkah. Yorduk Shamim is not a p'tur mitzdayer. It's a new p'tur called Yorduk Shamim. For that you need what shear? Tisach HaMikveh. Nafkamina on the first night. On the first night, when you need a Yorduk Shomim to be potter, when will you be potter? The Ragachover says, the Mokim Peter, where you eat, if you're able to eat, then it's a Shem Sukkah. Tisach HaMikveh, if you're not able to eat there, I feel bad. I'm not able to eat there, the porridge is spoiled. It's a Pokadim Shem Sukkah. Good, that's what it's Negeyas. So again, the first night, Mishatisach HaMikveh, you want to be Pokadim Shem Sukkah? I need a shear, Mishatisach HaMikveh. Mitzdayer? Yeah, a little bit rain. I'm also Mitzdayer. It didn't wreck them Shem Sukkah. I'll be a Mitzdayer first night. Mitzdayer is Chayiv. Even like the going, Mitzdayer is Chayiv the first night. Oh, but Mishatisach HaMikveh, the porridge is boiled. You get the soup, okay? Then it's Pokadim Shem Sukkah. The Ran Lishi Tosoi didn't say this there. It's Farvos Nisht. Because the Ran holds on the first night, he says so. Then on the first night, just like Mitzdayer, no Ptur on the first night. You learn out Tezvov, Mechag Amatzes says no Ptur Mitzdayer. He learns that Yorduk Shomim is the Zalba Ptur of Mitzdayer. That's the way he learns. Ptur Mitzdayer. Okay, if that's what he holds. Yorduk Shomim Mitzdayer Chayev on the first night. What do you have to give me a shear? Push it. Yorduk Shomim is a Ptur Mitzdayer, so whatever you are. If it bothers you, a little rain, more rain. The Ran, the Shitosoi, Frekt is a good Gashe. The Frekt Samzach. So what do you have to say? The Ran has to be Mechadish. The Ran has to be Mechadish, this big Chiddush. You're right. Before you went into the Sukkah, once you went in, then it's Mischadish, then Mechadish. Das can sein Abshad. Baby, again, the Ran has the Kasha, why that the same mikveh? We want to answer. Like the Shita said, although it's Pokadim Shem Sukkah, I need it. Then it's Pokadim Shem Sukkah. But Achanami, the Ran the Shita, if it's a simple Ptur Mitzdayer, it's a Mutar, no, maybe simple Ptur, maybe that. Okay, that's good. Next. Azoi. The Mishnah says, when can you leave the Sukkah? The Mishnah says, Yorduk Shomim, when may you leave? Now, if you look in Rambam, the Rambam added on a few words, was steht nicht in the Mishnah. The Rambam says, Yorduk Shomim, harei ze nichnas letoich habayis. If it starts to rain, you, harei ze nichnas, sounds like a directive. You must go into the house. When may you leave? Mishatisach HaMikveh. The Tur, Yochlotzes, you may leave. Where did the Rambam say Zachen was steht in a Mishnah, a Gemara? A mocker, to add on a few words, it's not in the Mishnah, it's not in the Gemara. You must go into the house, but you must, why am I mechuy? Like it sounds like a little bit chiyuva. He's telling you, was will the Rambam? And where's the mocker for the Rambam? In Pilpul, you must go into the house, because if not, you'll be there from the Hatzei Sukkah. Don't you Yontiv's kasha? You should go in, because if not, you'll have the problem of the Yontiv. We said before, it's not a kasha, from the Ragachover. It's Pokad Hashem, and the Rambam brings separate halachim. It's Tayers, one halach in this. That's a bissel shvelch. Avram Elazban, when he was young, he wrote a whole shtickle. He's now being Rashiv in Riverdale. He was young. Avdis in Yonim. The Rambam says, "Harei ze nitnas." The Torah says, "In the pilpul with the Yontiv." That's okay. Okay, but
the Mishnah tells you what to do.
Mishnah is good.
The Mishnah Kvam ones are right. So if you don't follow the Rambam, you're right for part of that.
It's like it's a tzadin. If not, you're not following the Mishnah. Okay, but the words that I've heard should be from a source and no bus. Okay, ich will say, could Ken sein like this? The Gemara says, everyone knows this Gemara. Slow. Remember that someone came and he poured out the cup in front of the master, and the master takes the cup and he pours it back. Moshel lemi. Who poured it to? The good pshat here. Mi shafach lemi. Who poured? Is it the Eved or is it the master? Wait. Rashi, good pshat. Who are we talking about? Who's pouring the cup over here? Rashi. Both ways it's a sibin klola. A little Rashi. He was doing an avdis for his master, and he wasn't serving properly. But you do a klal Yisrael not serving when they're sitting in a sukkah and they go out when it's raining. They're not doing the avodah. Oh, you don't know? And then shofach like Rabbi kitoin, that the Rab is pouring out the kitan al ponav. Same for like go out the yem shemishmucha. You read as hakshomim, he shvichas kiton. Both ways says Rashi it's a siman klal. But what is the siman klal? Perush the masnisim revoyel. Tell me pshat in the Mishnah. The shvichas hakiton, this pouring out of this cup, is it by my sitting in the sukkah and then leaving, or is it the rain coming down in the sukkah? The Rosh and the Gemara ends up, it's as if the master took the cup and the master poured it out on you. The master did. The Rosh and the Riv bring down this Gemara Ledina. Yes, on the bottom of the Rosh. What is the bottom of the Rosh? The Tivri Chamudas in Sukkah. The Korban Azal like this, right? The Rosh, the Riv. What's this Gemara Negei Ledina? It's a nice shaila. Moshel Lemi. Is it this way? Is it that way? A pshatov in the shaila. What is it Negei Ledina to the Rosh and to Riv to bring this Gemara and this? The master poured it. Good. So gefrecht. Korban Azal. As this at the end of the parasha. So ich verstehe nicht. Teimel meinaf guse. Why does he bring it? Says after the Korban Azal. He says I'm going to tell you pshat. Says brings the Rashi. The Marshal says pshat. Is it my sitting in the sukkah and then I'm going out? Is that what it's like pouring, spiting the melech, pouring to the melech? Or it's the melech saying, get out of the sukkah. Now the nafkamina will be, says Korban Azal, good pshat. Nafkamina will be, can I stay a little bit longer? He says he found it in the Ritva, Kedusha Ritva, on sukkah. It says this pshat, that if the pshat is it's my sitting and then my leaving, I should be machmer. Don't rush out. Now, how do you call the hedged if you stay in a sukkah? Läuft nicht. But if the pshat is that it's the master pouring out to you, then he says you have to leave right away. You have to move. The master is pouring it out. Don't. Ich will euch nicht. And you have to leave right away. That's what's negaya, and it's like the master pouring out. So it's telling you, you must leave right away. That's why the Rosh and the Riv brought down this Moshel Melech, this whole Gemara brought down Ledina. So yeah, could be that's Pshat Rambam. Where did the Rambam get? You must enter your house. When? Quote the Mishnah. Where do you get the extra? The first part. The first part is this Gemara. That the Gemara asks me, shofach lemi. Who put it? Was it this way, this way? Exactly what the Rosh and the Riv bring it ledine. It's negei ledine. Korban Azal, Kasha, Marshal, Rifo. Exactly. Does build the Rambam. Yod Vishom Harei Ze Nichnas. Nish betoin Yom Tiv. The longest. Will pshat. Will this Gemara. Moshel lemi. Who poured who? The Marshal with this. Rosh, this is good ledine. That's going to sound like good pshat. Noch this is on a Shena Shaila. Shena Shaila. Chochma Shloima. Nay Shaila. You know this Shaila maybe. It's a famous Shaila. A fellow's living in a city and he has no singing lulav. He has no sukkah. It's a few days before Sukkot. What should he do? He can go to another city where they have daled minim. No sukkah. He can go to another city where they have a sukkah. No daled minim. Avuzal again. Where should he go? What do you say? Where should the man go? It's before Sukkot. He can take a trip. Which city should he go to? What's after? Where should he go? Now, Daled Minim, it's one mitzvah. 4 components. Sukkah, 1 mitzvah. Sukkah, first night is a chiyuv, rest of the day is no chiyuv. You have pas, no chiyuv. Lulav, first day chiyuv, rest of the day is mitzvah. The same, sukkah mit lulav, boss avuzam again. Is that what? So Seichel says that against the sukkah, because sukkah is koydem bizman. Sukkah starts at night. Wednesday evening was sukkah, but lulav, the daled minim, didn't come till Thursday morning. Like Neitzachama Thursday morning. So Seichel says nothing against the sukkah. Sukkah kommt doch früher. Right? It comes first. That's what Seichel says. Says the Chochma Shloime. Seichel. A pasuk in Chumash. Chumash says, "L'kachtem lechem be'ibrishin friyat zodik hafes tvarman hafes." A few psukim later, pasuk is teishim. Modne. First you say lulav, and then sukkah. Sukkah kommt achfriya. Sukkah comes first, in sequence, right? Why did the Torah write first the Dalet Minim? For my Chiddush, says the Chachma Shloimeh, to tell you that if you're in a city and you can go, you have no place, either this and this, you go to the lulav, you go to this. Why? This is why the Torah wrote it first. For my Chiddush. Does of the Chachma Shloimeh. Why? Because the Medrash says, remember the Medrash says it, up in Shemayim, there's a whole deen between the Goyim and Klal Yisrael on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. The Sorei Shalmaila, and we carry the lulav, we show we're victorious. That we were menatzeach bedin. That's like a persumei nise, that we were victorious. That takes a precedence over Sukkah. The Chiddush Gadol from the Chachma Shloimeh, the Heilige Reb Shlomo Kluger, Paskins Ladina, the Iron, the Drush, Hirachti Bidrushai, and Melo Halacha, it's there. Shulchan Aruch, that he Paskins, but I'm getting to the Dalet Minim, because Dalet Minim is Pesumei Lise. Other boys can disagree about it. I'm against the Sukkah, because the Sukkah is Koinem Bizman, in sequence of that it comes into the Sukkah. That's what he says, the Heilige Baal Chochma Shloimeh. Bissel Shvelov. I mean, Sukkah is for sure Pesumei Lise. Teises, Psochim, Teisa Megillah, Sukkah, Afen Hoya Bois HaNes, Teisa Fechta Hakasha. That's only Pesumei Lise, the Kalochas, that you say Afen Hoya. Good, but the Heilige Chachma Shloimeh. Every year we are victorious, okay? So, is Kenzain, as it could people can say in Drush, another reason why I'm not getting to the Lulav and Esrei before the Sukkah. I want to say, why do you say Halal on Sukkahs? Pavos, Yomtev, I'm saying Halal. It's a moyed, I'm saying Halal. Brisker Rav and Zayra, the mitzvah of Lulav is Mechayev Halal. Ulakachtem Lechem Usmachtem, Ramban, Sefer HaMitzvahs. It's Mechayev Halal on the mitzvah of Lulav. Tven Tesis Kasha, Brachas, Tav Kof Mabez, Tesis Frektach Af Rashi, remember on Zman Gromet? So two reasons. Moyed, and because what? The mitzvah of Lulav. A third reason. Chazal say, Medrash, Parshas Emor, Klal Yisrael are Meisim Ba'aveirus. It comes Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. It's as if they're dead. Every year Rosh Hashanah, it's Kemeisim Ba'aveirus, and the Rebbe gives them chiyus. The Rebbe gives them life. Mamish chiyus. On Rosh Hashanah, the Rebbe gives Hayid chiyus. What's he supposed to do? Take the Esing Lulav, Ulahalal HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and the Nes of Chayim. That says the Halal and Sukkot is not just because it's Yom Tif, and not just because of the mitzvah of lulav, and the nes of chayim. A mensch is mechuyev to danken with what? Taking the esing lulav. Va'am nivro yahalol kod. It's a posting in Tehillim. It's a din. Am nivro slichas. It was like Ashkenaz says in the slichas. Noidalecha. We will thank the Rebbeinu Shalom. Alei Tshua Secha, as it says, Lashem HaYeshua, Al Amcha B'Chosecha. It's a din. It's a and the nes from chayim. That Siba on the Nes from Chaim is with Nila on Yom Kippur. When it goes out the Basker, Leich Echel Besimche, that's a Machayev. You were dead. Kemeisim Ba'aveirus. And the Rebbe gave you a Tchiyah. Remember in Mishnah Berurah Paskins, if you didn't see a friend for a year, after a year you saw him, you can say on him, Haloch Lamaisa Baruch HaToshem, Mechaye HaMeisim. Because he lived through Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. The Sibi is gleich mit the Nil of Yom Kippur. That could be in Drush. Therefore, right away, as soon as the Nil is over, you're mechuyev, take the Esing and Lulav, ulekales, on the Nes from Chayim. Sukkah will come 4 days later. It will come. Tezvav. But the Siba of taking the Esing and Lulav, to be mekales, on the Nes from Chayim, you're talking is gleich, that's right away with, now this one's mitlomnis. What are the many places disagree with the Chachma Shloimeh, and they say no way. They say a person no way. You have to go to the Sukkah. We don't go to the lulav. The Chachma Shloimeh said I have a pasuk. Remember his pasuk? It says first lulav and then Sukkah. It's Ken Zion, just like this. What are we going to do with the pasuk? Because it was on a good upshot. The Mabit in his Sefer Beis Elikim, Yeshul he's stopping. Did the Jewish people keep the mitzvah of Sukkah in the midbar? Yes or no? Lulav and Esrei, they got a hold of it. What's the mitzvah? Did they do the mitzvah of Sukkah in the midbar? Tiny, maybe not. It was a Sukkah tachas a Sukkah. They had Anani Yakovit. Vil them Abit Zogan in the Sefer Beis Elikim. No, they didn't do Sukkah in the midbar. Laman Yedu the Resecha. Laman Yedu means a Loshen Ose, a little bit diktuk. Laman Yedu means in the future, right? Laman Yedu, 40 years from now, when you'll come into the Eretz Yisrael, you'll do Sukkah. But bis then, no Sukkah. Beis Elikim. Ken Zayin, that's why it said Lulav first. Avaradach begins to the Sukkah. Many places. When you go to the Sukkah, you don't go to the Lulav. Why did it say Lulav before Sukkah? Lulav they did in the midbar. They got a hold of it. Lulav, Esikadas, and Arabic. Oh, but Sukkah, there's no chiyuv till they came in. Way later, Rabbi Axel Zangel at the Mega Frey, he said, Amot Nezach. What? Things in Velskasha. He says, in Mishnayos, in Gemorah, you always have Sukkah and then Lulav. Shulchan Aruch, Rambam, Sukkah and then Hilchos Lulav. And the Torah is Nishtazeh. And the Torah is first Lulav and then Sukkah. Be masberit. In the Torah it says first Lulav and then Sukkah because that's the way it has to be. First they did Lulav and Esrei 40 years later. Laman Yedu. Right? Laman Yedu, then they'll do it. Okay. But Avada Halacha Lamaisa in sequence of events, and have a push at first Hilchos Sukkah, then Lulav, Sukkah, then Lulav. That's a Shulchan Aruch and Rambam. Mishnayos, Gemorah, has to be that way. That could be a good shot. One last thing that's the Gemara says like this by us. Simchas B'Sei I just want to see over from Reb Shmuel, Rosh Yeshiva of Ponevezh, a golden shot. It says by Simchas B'Sei it says Hillel would come and he would say, famous, you know this, the Gemara says, he would say by Simchas Imanikan HaKol Kan. If I'm here, Gavaldik, Rashi. What does that mean? Imanikan HaKol Kan. So Shmuel said like, Hillel, don't sin. He would say in the name of the Rebbeinu. If you do mitzvahs and ma'asim toivim, so I'm going to come. My Shechina will come to this Beis Hamikdash. Okay, v'im techtu v'asalik Shechina, it does tchet, and I take away my Shechina from it. Oy, mi ovay kan. Wer wird kommen? Imani kan means if the Shechina, you'll do mitzvahs and ma'asim toivim, my Shechina will come good. But if not, nothing at all. It says Toisus, says the Rak. Listen to this, Rabbeinu Chanana. What a pshat. So the Hillel said like this, a whole new pshat. When he saw Klal Yisrael, Avdim, Bipachas, that they do avodas Hashem, schnell, quick. Bedaven dopas, schnell, to mitzvah. Hava Omar, he would say, the Rebbeinu wants kilusin lahalolu tzorich. The Rebbeinu needs your praises. Elaf alfin Yashem Shuri, plenty of malachim up there in heaven. But when he would see the Avdim Bekoisher, the Klal Yisrael serve the Rebbeinu properly, Bedaven via mensch, he would say, oh, Imani kan, HaKol kan, Gewaldig. I have so many angels, Malachim, Choviv Alov, Kiluse Yisrael, Yoisim and HaKol. Ich will das. So how does it touch? Imani kan, HaKol kan, says Reb Shmuel. What's the chiluk between a mensch and a malach? A malach is a sichli, much more than a mensch. Gewaldig his seichel is unbelievable. Gabriel, do you know what a mensch is over a malach? A heart, a leiv. A malach hot nish kein leiv. No one's taken away from malach. Gabriel, it's unbelievable. The sichli, the homnish kein hearts. A mensch is gebenched with what? Not as much seichel as a malach, but he has a heart. A leiv margish. He has a regesh. There's a leiv chayimid also, but he has a regesh. Says Hillel. And when he saw Klal Yisrael, they do it schnell. Medaven dor punkt to the mitzvah schnell. Says the Rebbeinu, what do I need your shirs for sich bochers? If it's schnell, it's a sichli. You're just patterning the words. I have plenty of malachim that give me sichli. I don't need it from you. But when Klal Yisrael daven be a mensch, to the mitzvah, be kosher, doesn't believe, mit neshome, says the Rebbeinu, adrab adrab, I want it from you. Ich will das. Doesn't mit hearts, doesn't mit neshome, which I don't have from the malach. I want it bedafke. Imani means the mensch, the ganzkeit, the ganze mensch, mit the ganze neshome, mit der regesh. Azay tut men ha-mitzvah, azay tut men ha-maisim toivim, adaven, mit hearts, mit neshome. Then it's half. That's what Hillel said. So I say I touched. Or as Ruah says, throughout the week, the Rebbeinu wants from the Malachim. Come Shabbos, Yom Tov, we stick in Tefillah, Lam Moshe, Lam Natzeach, all the nice things around in the wall, the things that we had on Shabbos morning, nice long davening, comes to what? Says the Ezra, the Mention says, that the Malachim came to Hashem and said, we want, if we do the singing the whole week, let us say shiras, these extra shiras on Shabbos and Yom Tov. He said, no, ich will das von Klal Yisrael. Shabbos and Yom Tov. Seit das Matter. Explain it. The whole week Nebuch is bekoiden. Bepachas. Klal Yisrael is gechabt. He has to go to his business and he davens up a Shemoneh Esrei. Says the Rishon, I want from the Malachim. Shabbos and Yom Tov is b'menucha. Says the Rishon, Adrabah to Adrabah. That I want it from Klal Yisrael. This is the ani, the spiritual derivation. That's what he's looking for. The ani from Klal Yisrael. That's what he'll say. Ani kan. The ani ledoidi. What's the type? The ani ledoidi. It's the mensch, the ganze mensch. Orach HaShulchan says a type. Ani ledoidi. Kol machshavoisai. In the month of Elul is ledoidi. And the derivation reciprocates and he says, "Oi, ledoidi." The one mice says, and I'm more than a mice. Yerucham Moshe told the Shif of Lakewood, put out a new sefer. As a half of a fellow was not shaykh, mamish not shaykh. The teich, the shmuz, it's not shaykh. And he brings there in a hagor. Two mice. One mice. Oh, what it means, ani ledoidi. Down to two mice in a hagor. I spoke to him, told him, I'm going to tell you what you write in your sefer. A hagor, a good mice. People have a minute. Well, they go out to the Catskills in the summer. People go out. People go out to the mountain. And they come back after the summer. And the minig is family sits down. Family time. Sit down. Everyone gets together. And they take out the video. Take out nice pictures of the summer. Ooh, come Tati, let's sit down. And we're going to look at the pictures. We went a nice tiyul. We went on this trip, at this reservoir. And we went over there, is it the falls? Now let's look. Everyone sits down. Family time, very nice. Rabbi Moshe writes, Ich kenne a mensch von heintige Zeit. Not from Rabbi Salanter's Talmidim, someone living now that I know personally. Tamachochem, Yirei Elikim, Shkin Geresa, Shiva, normale mensch. And the family said, Tati, come. Family time. Our yearly get together. Let's look at the nice video, the nice pictures from the summer. And the father said, it's Rosh Chodesh Elul. It's already in Tel. We'll wait for Sukkot. Right now, ich kenne das nicht. Who are we talking about? Rabbi Naftali? Rabbi Tzil Peterberg? Rabbi Simcha Sissel? A person. I don't know, it's 2014, right? We're talking about living in our time. And the man should have a Zahar Gosh. It's El. Kol Machshavoisai is Ledoidi. That's right. Ani Ledoidi. 1, 2. He brings a Maise from the Heilige Chofetz Chaim. I once saw a half little Chofetz Chaim had a gvir that used to help him out. Okay, this gvir. One day the Chofetz Chaim came to Lodge, and this gvir lived in Lodge, and he also helped out a yeshiva in Lodge. He helped support Teres Chesed in Lodge. He said, Rebbe, Chofetz Chaim, please fit there. Speak for the boys. Give them divrei chizik. Divrei chizik. In Lodge. Okay, good. He was masking, so he gets up and he says, Azoi. He says for the Bochum, I want to tell you something. He says, I had something that bothered me. Mom is bothered. How was Rabbi Akiva Eiger, the Heilige Rabbi Akiva Eiger, Zoiche, to what Gdolim in the previous generations before him were not Zoiche to it? How was it that he was Zoiche to such a darge in Torah, which is unbelievable, ad bias hagoyim? Rabbi Akiva Eiger's Torah and others that lived pretty much contemporaries before him were not Zoiche. Explain it. It bothered me. She says, I'm going to tell you Pshat. In the days of Rabbi Akiva Eiger, late 1700s, early 1800s, started Haskalah. Haskalah started against the Yiddish, against the yeshivas, against Klal Yisrael, against the Ruach Yisrael Sabbath. And they made fun of the Tikkun, the yeshivas. People stopped learning. It was a terrible Xavier. People stopped. It was a chalishas, a terrible chalishas. But the shefa of Torah that the Rebbe gives at every door is there. Rabbi Akiva Eiger with his amelis took it all because he heard it. So that tremendous shefa that was in the world remained. It's there, and therefore not too many people took it. But Rabbi Kveger, with his amal, took that whole shefa from Torah, and he became the heilige Rabbi Kveger ad soif hadoides. Bochem lach, he said. We're living today in the same times. There's enough problems out there. Haskalah and kol davish aboilam, he said. Chaparayim. He said, Chaparayim. You can become Rabbi Kvegers of Hayin Tikador. That is Maizeh that he brings from the heilige Baal Chofetz Chaim. That is a gewaltige Maizeh. Again, once again, we wish you hatzlocha bracha here. Hashem's like benchen. He noyam Hashem. Zoichet hatzlocha bracha ad belidai.